have to go through all the MIDI. People that have a process scare me. Yo, if something needs a, it's getting a.
Hey guys, welcome back to Blind in the Industry podcast. My name is Ben Foden, and as usual, I'm joined with
Dan Brown. You might notice today's a little bit of a different setup, as is our first guest on the Blind in the Industry podcast.
Yes, sir. This
man is a legend in the music and media game, and his production journey starts back in 2011, getting placements on the likes of Reebok Europe and MTV UK.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, Danny West.
Woo! Danny, welcome to the podcast.
That was an intro, you know.
Yeah,
I was sat here like, whoa, what have I done?
Yeah, gotta give you your flowers, bro.
So, Danny, how are you?
I'm well, you know. I'm well.
Yeah?
I mean, Ben and Dan brought me out to the Sticks for this podcast. So.
The Sticks. It's just outside of Manchester.
Yeah, it's the Sticks. It's the Sticks.
Yeah.
No, I'm good. I'm blessed. I'm having a great week.
Thank you for
Good
coming
stuff,
on, bro.
yeah.
Really appreciate that.
So, yeah, I guess we'll just get straight into it and ask you the easiest question we can is, who is Danny West?
Who is that boy? You man just boiled it up though, right there. Who's Danny West? Danny West is a multi-talented black man from Leeds who has fingers in many pies across the music industry, the media, the TV and film industry. And I don't know, I'm just doing good things right now and I'm feeling myself at the minute, so that's why I said all those beautiful words.
Love that, bro.
Yeah,
give yourself your own flowers.
Yeah.
Love that, man. Love that.
Self-love. Yeah, so this pod's called Blind in the Industry. So we'd really like to know sort of how you came in the industry, what started the spark, what was your decision process and your journey up to now.
Yeah. I mean, well, big question, but like what started me in the industry was like graft.
Oh,
really.
yeah.
So like I was like producing on FL Studio from like probably age 15 or something like that.
Is that your first like door?
My first door was Ableton.
Okay,
Oh.
crazy.
My first, yeah.
Shout out Ableton.
I try not to say that too much.
Man, that's not a usual one to start on.
Nah.
You know what? You know,
FL's the go-to.
let me be truthful. My first door was Mixcraft.
Okay, that makes
That
more
was my
sense.
first
That makes more
door.
sense.
That was the first one I was like, yeah,
Nice.
I can do two loops.
Do you
Yeah.
still have your Mixcraft beats somewhere?
Ooh, no.
They're gone.
No.
But so Danny was saying to me before the podcast that he has everything in his life backed up in 8 places, but not your Mixcraft beats.
Nah, yo, I got everything in my life from 2015 onwards backed up.
Yeah,
Okay,
Like,
sweet.
Multiple places.
that's crazy.
Like I was saying to Dan on the way
Essential.
here, if a meteor hit my house, I'm blessed. Back it up tomorrow morning.
Sweet. Love that.
But yeah, all started off in like Mixcraft, Ableton. I used Ableton for like a week, yeah.
Okay.
And I remember opening it and be like, yeah, fuck this.
Nah,
I
it's
mean-
crazy. It's
Are you-
difficult though. It's so hard.
You weren't there, but at uni second year, we had like a course and it was like electronic course,
Yeah,
and they
yeah.
made us use Ableton for like a month, and I used it.
Pass.
I was like, you know what? If I wasn't Logic, I'd probably be Ableton.
I agree. I'm the same on that one.
But I haven't
Can't
tried
skip
the
over
others.
the GOAT, that's FL Studio.
To be fair,
Nasty.
we've been giving FL its. No. Well, you say what you want, but FL.
No. We've been giving it.
We've been giving it its flowers because it's
However-
doing so much. Like it's got the AI mastering, stem separation. Like they're
However,
listening to the fans. Oh, okay.
the
Here we
routing
go.
is nasty, and you can't deny.
Who cares? Who cares?
It's important.
Who cares?
Me.
You know how much money I made from FL Studio? FL Studio is my bread and butter.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's probably, in my opinion, got one of the best interfaces out of every DAW.
Yeah. It's
Like I say to a lot of people, yeah, like going from brain to computer, FL Studio makes the most sense.
What, as in like idea
Yeah.
to
Idea
like,
to-
inception to
Yeah,
finish
yeah.
thing quick?
Yeah.
If I want to do a,
Yeah.
I'm doing that in 2 seconds in
Yeah,
FL.
yeah.
Whereas you man are dragging samples and it looks no man, I got a sequencer. That's what it's there for.
Yeah, but that's another thing. I don't like using a sequencer.
Nah, me neither.
Yeah, because you man are pussies.
Say it.
Here we go. anyway, so FL, he started in FL.
Yeah, started in FL about like 2015. I started off making like, and I do have these beats, you know.
Ooh.
Boy, that's brought up a memory. Like house.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
What sort of house? Like Kate Trinada type or like...
no,
Like
no.
that
Like
house.
house.
Skep house.
Tropical.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
like
Palm trees
Like,
with the
yeah.
album cover. Crazy.
2015 YouTube intros.
yeah,
That's the one.
literally that. And,
Mad.
I went by the name Bedroom Beat at the time because obviously
That's kind of...
original.
That's kind of yeah.
It was original then, probably.
Yeah, so I did that for about a year or so on some like Logitech upright speakers in my house. And my mum was just like, yeah, this is better than you going out and grazing your knees, essentially.
Yeah.
So I was like, cool. Did that for time. You know what? The original thing that got me into making beats, was I stumbled across like a 50 Cent tutorial on YouTube.
Okay.
Really?
And I was just like, yeah.
What, like how to make the beat?
How to make the beat, yeah,
Okay,
like a beat breakdown, and it was on Mixcraft, and that's why I got Mixcraft.
Yeah.
Do you get
Damn,
me?
someone did Mixcraft tutorial on
It
that.
was crazy.
Wild.
50 Cent making beats on Mixcraft.
Obviously not. But yeah, it just like, I was like, oh, like, this is how it works.
Yeah.
This is what I need to do.
It's just like the interest of like how it's made.
Absolutely.
Like how have you got to that final product? That's what I loved, and that's what
it's
got
the
me
most
into
interesting thing to know. Is
Yeah.
Nowadays it's so good because YouTube's full of it. There's all these master classes because everyone wants to help now. But back in the day, did you struggle with the almost gatekeeping of all the secrets? Because back in 2015, YouTube probably wasn't as open to giving all this sauce out.
No, there was one guy I watched called BusyWorksBeats.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, taught me everything I know.
That's sick.
Wow.
Every single thing.
Shout
I
out
know.
to those guys that are putting that out.
Yo,
Yeah.
I think he's still going now, yeah. And he's
Oh,
got a wicked intro. It's like
Really?
BusyWorksBeats.com.
Oh, that's
It's so cold. But yeah, he taught me everything I knew.
sick.
And then I want to say when I was like 16, 17, it was like college times.
Yeah.
And I met my best friend, Kamal. And he was making like Boondocks flips.
Oh,
Yeah.
crazy.
And I was like, yeah, is that what's going on? Like,
Sick.
and obviously this is around the time of like grime, like
Yeah.
having its massive resurgence in
Yeah.
the UK scene. And I was tending to make more of those kind of beats. Around that time, there's a YouTube channel called First Media TV. Literally stumbled across it.
Right.
And there's Graft in a field with two of his boys. One of them's Yeffy,
Oh yeah.
rapping, and I'm like, who's this, brother?
Sick.
I'm like, yeah, is this what's going on? And from then I was just like, yeah, I need to reach out to him.
Yeah.
I want to work with him.
Oh, I remember you telling me you would like reach out,
Yo.
out, nothing.
Yo, nothing.
From Graph
But that's
specifically.
so important to like
Yeah.
tell
To
people
follow
because
up.
like
Yeah.
it's so like crucial to like bombard
Yo,
because you're not gonna get it unless you do.
you man. Pwah.
Yeah.
He must have hated me.
Yeah, well,
For
that's,
like 2
it's
months.
the same here.
Yeah. Nah, I love you, Ben. Because I was in your position. That's why I love you so much. Bro.
Okay.
Do you get me? You're just like, yo, what's the answer to this? I'm like, yeah, man.
Yeah.
I wish someone told me, so here's
Yeah.
the answer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, passing on.
You got to
knowledge.
give it back.
You got to
don't
give it
you?
back.
Yeah.
100%.
Like, I'm not even in a place where I know it all or know
Yeah.
even a fraction of it all,
Yeah.
but I know enough to give back to
I
you.
think
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
important to have that self-awareness as well.
100%.
If you're like, yeah, I got it.
Nah, I don't.
You like love yourself, but like you got to be like,
You got to be real.
you got to be real.
Got to be real.
You don't know anything.
Bro.
It's
Bro.
one of them.
Yeah, so I spent like 2 months like trying to get to him essentially, and
Yeah.
that was just me
Damn.
emailing his email, chatting to his friends, and being like, "Yo, here's a USB, pass that on to him."
Had
Wow.
he done the rap game at this point?
No. This
Okay.
is like
Like early Graph.
2016.
Was it when his freestyles were sort of doing?
Yeah,
good?
yeah.
Okay.
This
So
is
that's how
when
we
he was
started.
like the Chapeltown favorite kind of
Yeah,
vibe.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So was he was out of Leeds at this point? Out of Leeds United at this point?
Yes. Oh, yes. Just out of, I want to say he was on his like transition maybe to Bradford City.
Okay.
At the time. I might be wrong saying that, but yeah, I think he was just doing the transition of football to music.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
So you got
yeah.
in early pretty much. Yeah, but
Bro.
you saw the vision, you saw the future in that.
100%. I'm kind of like a long-term thinker, so I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, I need to be a part of this project for 10 years, 20 years, whatever.
It's
it is.
hard to have that like look ahead.
But that
When you-
delayed
when-
delayed gratification though.
Yeah,
When-
but
when
like
it
when you
started
want
popping.
stuff like now, and it's
Yeah.
like you've got to have that.
When like we were saying outside before, like I've been poor for time,
Yeah.
and that delayed gratification still ain't here yet.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
the sacrifices to get to where you need to be.
If you really want it, you'll put shit aside.
Yeah.
and you'll make
Yeah.
it work.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? In my opinion, anyway.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, spent 2 months trying to nail him down.
Sick.
Bumblow got through to his friend called Shakea,
Right.
and she gave me a direct line. So I sent like three of my beats. Looking back, don't know
I was
why
gonna say,
sent
were the
them.
beats good at this point?
Nah, The beats were rubbish. But like, obviously, the best thing ever at the time.
Yeah.
And he hated them.
Right.
He hated them. But I just kept on sending him because, like, once I got through, I was like,
Yeah,
say
you've
less.
got that avenue. He knows
I
your
think
name.
even from his point of view, like, it's still nice having like a feed of like beats you
Yeah,
can listen to.
yeah.
Even if at the
even
time
if he hates them,
they
it's
weren't
like,
hitting, he'll still click listen just because like this could be hard.
Facts.
And I guess what you didn't know then is that, so obviously we know Graft as well now, and he probably was, looking back, loves seeing the journey of your beats getting better. Because
I hope he does.
Loves it, like, hates it.
yeah, so if you go back to that first beat,
Yeah.
your first placement with Graft,
Yeah.
what's the first beat you took?
Shifting.
Yeah.
Shifting, yeah. And it's on my Spotify, to be fair.
Sick.
And it's funny because that, like, the short story about that is I met Graft a few times and he always forgot who I was. This is cool, innit? Like, I'm nobody to him at the time, innit?
Yeah, it happens.
And my boy Kamal, we went to get a curry on Hare Hills Lane.
Right.
Shainan Kebab, shout out Shainan Kebab. At like 3 a.m. Walk in and Graft's in the corner. And obviously I'm like deer in headlights. I'm like, oh my God. And then Kamal introduced me to him, and I was like, in my heart of hearts, I was like, you already know who I am, but fuck it. Like,
Yeah.
I'm Danny, nice to meet you. He was like, yeah, let's link up, bro. You know how I chat.
Yeah.
Let's link up, bro. Let's link up.
I love your graphic.
So like, maybe 2 weeks after, I was in the studio. He was in the studio opposite recording with an engineer called Dale.
Okay.
And I was playing the shifting beat, which was called Kelly at the time. It's one grime track.
Sick.
And he like knocked on the door and he was like, yo, what's this?
Oh, that's such a good feeling.
Kept
I bet you were
Yeah.
like, come on.
Come on then. You know if you
that
want.
walk home, he was bouncing on the walk home.
Bro, that was the moment. From then we locked in.
Yeah.
And it was just like brotherhood. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, from that point, he messaged me saying like, yo, I want to be around you, man, some more, like me and my friends.
Sick.
And like, it all just took off from there. Like, the rest is literally history from that point.
I think like that's surrounding yourself with people that have the same vision and same like ethos as you is like super important.
It's vital.
Because that's the thing, like people, they always say, I don't know who they is, but they always say like you're an average of the people around you.
Yeah.
So if you're around people that are just like partying every night and doing absolutely nothing with their lives, you're gonna become someone who does nothing with their lives. So if you're around passionate people in the same industry, I guess
It's true.
That's
the
why
sky's
I
the limit,
love
isn't it?
doing
Yeah.
This
is so good.
But yo, it's important to have the other side, you know? Like,
Yeah.
as
for
I'm getting
sure.
older, I'm like, yeah, man, I'm cool that I have those friends that don't care about life.
Yeah.
And just want to have a job and get by. It's
Yeah.
so important to have
Okay.
that
That
balance.
balance,
both, yeah.
Because I think it's very easy to get trapped in the grind.
Yeah.
And like, one thing, like I've told you, man, it's like, you know, I've done all these cool things in my life, but like just floated by them. And not really thought too deep about them, or not taken them in, or congratulated myself.
Yeah.
Oh, just like next thing sort
Just
of
that's
like.
always the next. Do you know what I
But
mean?
like I know you say like you've got to have that balance, but like you've probably grinded it out like relentlessly without having that balance.
Yeah.
But would you think you can get to that having that balance, or you think you have to do that?
So it's a mix, because
It's a good
when I
question.
look back, it's like, if I would have stopped for one weekend, I would have been fine.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
I would have stopped for that Thursday afternoon and gone for a pint with my mates, it would have been fine. But that kind of little,
It's easy,
little bit of a toxic
Yeah.
mentality is like, oh no, you need to.
Yeah.
If you're not on it, you're not on it.
I think, yeah. Well, I mean, we did an episode recently where we were sort of talking about this and like finding that balance and how like you got to put some things first, but like it's
all about what you
important.
want,
but,
isn't it?
Yeah.
But like, I've had scenarios where, you know, me and Graft, and I'm sure you'd be happy with me saying this, me and Graft are like sat at the Mobos, probably feeling the saddest we've ever felt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, that's not good.
That's not good.
Yeah,
Like,
true.
This should be probably the best moment of our lives.
Yeah.
But we're both sat there thinking, boy, we're tired. Like, this has been hard.
Yeah.
And we haven't took a break. And we're not checking in about mental health. And
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? Like, that's just
It's-
so important.
yeah.
So important.
You
And if
gotta
I could
put
go
it
back and
first.
change anything, it would be that.
Yeah.
It would be,
You would.
take a day off, man. It's
Yeah, yeah,
fine.
yeah.
It's
Wow.
so fine.
Yeah, I think
That's
that's
good
important
advice.
to hear. It's
Yeah.
definitely important to hear.
100%.
So tell us more about the Mobos then.
The Mobos.
Because that must have been.
Yeah, that's a cool
I know
one.
you
That's
said.
a sick one.
I
You just
know-
like,
Yeah.
like briefed over like, yeah, we were just in the Mobos.
Come on.
So yeah, tell us,
Right.
because I know you said it's probably the saddest you were in your life, but
Yeah.
looking back as well, you must think like, wow.
crazy.
Yeah.
Tell us about it. Like, how did you get to there? What was the systems? What was it actually like?
Yeah, so Graph's like the best networker I've met in my entire life.
Really?
The best. Number one. There's actually no one else
Wow.
who networks like him. Like, he's the most purposeful networker you'll meet.
Okay, crazy.
So he knew Kanye King
Yeah.
because he won the Mobile Unsung Award maybe in 2019.
Yeah, yeah.
And she invited him plus one to the Mobos.
Oh.
And then obviously he called me, shouted me, he was like, we're going to the Mobos.
Oh, that's mega.
I was like, what?
That's so
I was
sick.
like, bro, what? Yeah. Didn't have enough money to get a suit. Didn't have enough money to get
Mad.
a like, I was broke. When I'm telling you, man, I was broke. Like, this is just love and passion.
Yeah.
Do you get me? So yeah, like, scraped around, had a jacket on. Like, I'm gonna send you man the photo so man can see it on screen.
Yeah.
So,
That'd
like,
be sick. Yeah.
Had a blazer on, didn't fit. Had a tie on, wasn't mine. Had like my old school shirt on. Like the logo of my school was like.
It's just like retro.
retro. So trousers.
High fashion.
that didn't
Yeah, try
fit.
pull it off.
It probably did pull it off. To be
Yeah,
fair.
no one's gonna question it.
Nah, my mum questioned it. And then I was wearing some Jordans because I didn't have any shoes, bro.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Again,
Yeah.
that style though.
Boy. You see, the next time I go, well, the last time I went was like last year.
Okay.
And like, I look good.
You're styling,
I
yeah.
had the money.
Nice,
I
man.
bought the thing
Yeah.
and I went.
Sick.
You get me?
Yeah.
And I appreciated it for the first time. But yeah, that first time, whew, stress. Got there, me and Graf, very much overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Like, I think they wanted him to walk the red carpet, and us mum were like, what?
Really?
But then we found out it was like the secondary red carpet.
The pink carpet.
Yeah. It wasn't even the one with the celebrity on, but like,
Right.
got there. Me and him are like soaking it in, like really going like, bro, we deserve this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yada yada. Unknown T walks past. Steph
Really?
London walks past.
Wow.
Like RD and his team walk past. I'm like,
Crazy.
do you know what I mean? And I think it's one of those things where me and Graft are not fazed by that.
Yeah.
So it's like we're not starstruck, but we're like, oh, this is
cool.
Yeah.
we're with
And
the-
you're realizing
yeah.
what's going on.
we're
You're
in
like,
the
oh.
industry.
Yeah,
do you know
yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean? Weird. But anyway, fast forward. Sat on the table. Kanye King, who's the CEO of the Mobos. Amelia de Mundenberg.
Yeah,
Never
yeah,
say
yeah,
them.
yeah.
Chicken shop date.
Yeah,
girl.
yeah.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, sat across from man.
Wow.
And the two CEOs of Marshall.
Wow.
Oh, crazy.
They're like
Amps.
there and there.
Yeah.
That's mad.
And then one other guy, James Ainscroft, who's
Right.
now the CEO of the Royal Albert Hall.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
So like
Damn.
people.
People. Yeah.
And like we're at the front of the thing. We're table number one.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Yeah. So it's like Kanye King and all these people on this table.
That's so cool.
And I'm there like, bro, what? Like people are getting credit cards out,
Yeah.
splashing out, getting the drinks. Me and Grafter just
Yeah, like, yep. Just enjoying the vibes, guys.
Couldn't
That
change
water,
on the table.
Facts. Taking a little nibbles. Like, this is nice.
Any more free bread
This is
going?
nice. Facts. Yeah, got chatting to the people at Marshall. That was a very fruitful relationship, to be fair, because we recorded the Golden Child EP down at Marshall from that conversation.
Wow. So
So like one of the guys called Alex, he doesn't work there anymore. He's from Wakefield, and obviously the Yorkshire accent can't beat it.
Yeah.
So he was like, "Where are you from?" I was like, "Leeds." He was like, "Ah." Then we just locked in.
that's it. Yeah.
So you say that played a part in some of the recording of Golden Child?
all the recording, all the vocal
I mean, I
recording.
was
Wow.
gonna
took place in
come on like
Yeah.
this topic anyway and
Yeah,
ask you
yeah.
about the production of that. So I'd love to just
Yeah.
sort of
So how long did that project take from that
For
point
long.
to so it's just released this last month, 2 months?
Yeah, August 30th it came out.
Yeah. So
amazing.
amazing album, honestly. So
It's an EP, by the way, guys.
Oh,
sorry.
sorry. Amazing EP.
Look at this guy. man.
Extended
This is a
project.
big time.
Something like that.
But anyway, this EP.
Yeah. How long?
How
that
long
take?
from concept
Oh, concept.
to sort of coming up?
What year are we in? 2024.
Crazy.
5 years?
Wow.
Yeah.
But it's got so many different tracks on it though. Like, it's got a garage track. It's got some like
got
conscious
everything.
rap.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
got
yeah.
like what would you call headliner?
In it.
That's great.
Drill rock. I
Yeah,
don't know,
So
like,
good.
But it's
Did
so
you-
good that he has a platform that he can share that, and he's built this fan base that are open to that. Because
Yeah.
I feel like Dave's good at it, but there's some rappers that their fan base only wants to hear them do one thing.
facts.
Like, I don't know, if Nines dropped something like, I don't know, it
Drill rock.
wouldn't work. Yeah, it don't think it'd work as
yeah.
much. So it's cool that he's built that fan base. But yeah, so what was your hand in the production of that?
Boy, all of the hands.
Really?
Yeah, that's the first thing I've like ever like executively produced.
Wow.
And it's actually been.
I didn't know that.
I've done
Actually,
the thing.
Was it UNC or mainly you?
Just me and Graft
Oh, wow.
did all of the like executive production on it. Obviously, there was different producers
Yeah,
on
of course.
each track.
Yeah.
But yeah, from like, boy, this is a throwback. But in like 2019, 2020, I was going through like a quite like depressive patch of my life.
Right.
And the track "What Do You See" is actually a track that I made and I wrote to, and it was called "Something Sad."
Oh, wow.
And it was just about a period of my life that I just like couldn't hack life. Like
Wow.
shit was just
I
getting
didn't know
on top.
that.
Yeah.
crazy.
Obviously, I
Because
sang
that
it.
song, the second disc, there's some heavy songs in that.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
super,
Can I be
super
real?
heavy.
I feel bad now. I told Graf that was my favorite track on the EP.
Yo, it's my favorite song ever.
Yeah, it's so
It's
good
so
though.
good.
It's so good. It's
Bro.
emotional though. Like
Yeah,
it's you
super
can feel it
emotional.
through the song. Like Graf, that's the one that he's crying in the studio, isn't it?
Bro, like when that documentary comes out, because like I've been editing that for
Yeah,
also
yeah.
like 2
Big
years. That I hope the world takes it in. That's all I ask.
Yeah, I hope so
Because-
too.
That studio session where we recorded that, he was crying, and like that's the first time I've seen him so vulnerable
Yeah.
on the mic.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can feel that in that track.
Crazy.
Like not even being there, not knowing anything about it. That song hit. Like,
Crying
that's
on the
heavy.
bus to work. And
yeah.
Honestly, it's a heavy track.
It's so good.
I had to
though.
message him. I had to send him like a full paragraph, like, "Yo,
You good?
I just listened to those," and I was like, "These are heavy." Like,
Yeah. But it's beautiful to do that like emotional transfer.
Yeah,
of
yeah.
Because
course.
obviously it was like my emotional transfer.
Wow, yeah, I didn't know.
And
that.
then obviously he was in the studio, and I wasn't even gonna play him it, and it always works like that.
Yeah.
I was never trying to play that track, but I went to him like, "Yo, bro, this is how I feel," and I
Wow.
played him it, and he was like, "I'm gonna do the Graf voice." Yo, bro, loop that up. Give me 5 minutes of that, and I did send it to him. And you got to understand that it was just the sample at the time.
Yeah.
And I just sent him that, and he wrote just to the sample.
Oh, okay.
And then it just
Yeah.
developed and developed and developed.
Yeah, and then that became what it is. And then the rest of the tracks. So like that was probably the first time I also took on a bit more of the managerial side of like Graft.
Yeah.
And it was like he told me what he wanted to do, and I went out and found the producers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? So we found like Nada from Texas.
So,
We found Swidden from Germany or Denmark, can't remember.
Wow.
And Harry Beach, who worked on the Digger D
Sick.
project, all produced on this
Wow.
essentially, obviously through loops and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of my role, and then just being in the studio and crafting it how we wanted to craft
Yeah,
it.
yeah, for sure.
That was a life-changing experience.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
bet. I mean, a lot of it, like having done some tracks with them, it starts super in the box, but like a lot of it is then like recorded. Like I'm guessing Headliner
Yeah.
it obviously
Live
wasn't always
drums.
live
Yeah,
drums,
yeah,
but like
yeah.
so. Who was it? I'm trying to remember the studio.
Marshall.
Iger.
Iger
Yeah.
Studios. Dom had a big part in recording all of this,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So like maybe 2022, when we just finished all the vocal recording, this entire project was just going to be digital. So a guy called Steph Carter, who was in the band called Gallows,
Right.
literally turned around. We was just about to leave, go back to Leeds and be happy.
Yeah.
He's like, you should put some drums on this.
Yeah.
And then we both sat there like, he's right.
Yeah. That's the worst feeling though. When you're done in the studio, you've had a long day, and then someone goes, "Let's do this."
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
know it's
Yeah,
gonna
but
be
look what
hours.
came of it.
Exactly.
But that made the process just exponentially
Yeah.
longer, because as soon as that one track became live, the rest of them did.
Yeah.
Bad one, and it was like that's the first time I've ever worked with drummers or
Yeah.
trumpeters or saxophonists and choirs, and that's like,
Yeah.
whoa, this is a lot.
I hadn't had that before, but I mean, doing a few tracks with Graft and the opportunity that when I was at uni, we were doing some recordings. It wasn't for that, but a few tracks. I've always been in the box because I've not had the access to that, but it was a crazy experience to be like swapping out stuff and
Yeah.
like to hear that is like, whoa, this makes such a difference.
Crazy
You want it on
process.
every track you do.
Crazy process. Dom had a massive part to play though. Dom was one of those guys where if he believes, the room believes. Like it's a mad feeling, but he made us feel so welcome in Iger, and like I'm just so grateful for that whole process. The thing I'm not grateful for that process is basically we recorded piano for every track
Wow.
Yeah.
in MIDI. I had to go through all the MIDI because it all exported without like sustain and velocity. So it was all just at 128.
Oh my god! So it's all just like bleeding
I
into.
was like, so I spent about a month, probably more than a month,
Whoa!
one by one, clicking on every single note,
That
up,
is so
down,
long.
getting it right, getting it perfect.
In FL,
So-
that must take so long.
Yeah.
As well.
So at this point, was this acting as your full-time job, or were you working as well to sustain
working.
yourself? So what were you doing then?
What was I doing then? I was in 2022. I think I was still like freelancing at Sable at that point.
Okay,
And I was
cool.
just about to start my job at Launchpad.
Okay,
Oh, sick. Yeah.
So, yeah, I was doing that like every evening, like I said, for about a month and a half.
Wow.
That's what I was gonna ask. How difficult did you find that, doing such a boring task every night after a long day of work?
Crazy. Nearly fell out with graft.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
yeah. And like it was such a great experience again. Like
Yeah.
looking back and reflecting, because it was years of me and Graf being friends and being able to be so open to be like, yo, brother, I hate you. Like,
Wow.
why am I doing this? And you know,
What was that? Sorry, was that like because you were doing this process, or he wanted like it to be perfect, and like what was the fallout over? For
Less so he wanted it to be perfect, because I think we both got the same kind of mindset when it comes to that, but more so we didn't know we needed to do it. So when we was in those recording sessions, it would just be again,
Yeah.
do it again, record. But we didn't factor in who's going to go through all of this,
Yeah.
and it was me.
Yeah, it's a lot.
So like, there's tracks on the EP there's tracks that were supposed to be on the EP that never made the EP. So there's like 2 or 3 tracks,
Okay.
and one of them we did with a singer who's based in London, and that had 230 vocal takes,
Oh my goodness.
and I had to go through every single one of them.
You were comping that.
Yeah, well,
You
no,
sat with-
it had been comped but not comped, because
Yeah.
we didn't pick a final essentially.
Oh, what? So you sat through them,
Yeah.
but you hadn't picked.
Yeah,
Why are you sitting through them?
come on, vibes.
Why?
And then maybe like a week later after I did all that, like we was in the studio with C Sharp, shout out C Sharp, and he was just like, "Oh, I'm not feeling this track," and I was sat there like, "What?"
Is this after you'd gone through?
Yeah, and I was just like, "All right, cool," and I was like, "Can we make it better?" And he was just like, "Nah."
Wow.
So the track just got dropped
Wow. Just
from
like
the
that.
EP.
Looking
And-
back, do you like that track? Like, would you?
Yeah, I like the track. It's called Good Girls.
Okay.
It's about like empowering women essentially.
Oh, nice.
So
Sick.
like, of course I love that.
Will we hear that track, or that's
Nah.
not coming out?
Nah, probably not.
Okay.
Probably not.
That's a shame. That's something I didn't realize either. Like, I've made a track with Graf, the first one we were making.
Yeah.
I was so gassed.
Gassed.
Like, I was like, oh my god, he likes the beat. Like, right into it. Like, we'd comped it, like everything.
Yeah.
And he was just like, sort of turned around. He was like, I'm not feeling this one.
Yeah,
And that was hard to hear.
Yeah.
humbling, isn't it?
He was like, oof,
But,
right,
but
okay.
you never know. He might, in a few years, it might be his sound.
Nah.
But
That
that's the
track's
thing.
not coming out.
I've got like probably 6-7 tracks with Graf. Never seen the light of day.
Wow, really?
Never seen the light of day.
I'm starting to stack some. They're sitting there.
But it's fine, because someone else might come along and be a
Yeah.
perfect fit. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I'm not stressed about that.
Yeah, true. Something, I mean, it's like a 2-part question, but in general and like through this project, do you have like producer influences, or like who you look up to, or like try and not copy the sound, but like
Yeah.
And
like
who
grab
got-
inspiration from?
And who got you your producer sound? Is it a mixture of other people as well?
You know what? It's like no one famous.
Okay,
Okay.
yes,
It's Kamal.
Yeah.
Okay,
Like everything I learned and everything I kind of still do today is because of him.
right.
I'm definitely like influenced by like the J. Coles and
Yeah.
of the world and the Kendricks and stuff like that.
Yeah,
But like I don't really like reach for them as inspiration.
yeah.
More so just like their technical ability
Yeah.
Okay.
and
yeah.
stuff. So like recently I've been watching a lot of like Dua Lipa track breakdowns.
Oh.
They're so good.
Mental.
Wait, is this the
vocal breakdown
Josh
stuff?
Goodwin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I stumbled across these like 2 days
Mad.
ago.
You sent me a screenshot. I watched it straight away.
Yeah, I was
So
watching it on the
good.
plane.
There's like 1 2-hour one of like is it New Rules or No Rules? But I can't remember what the track's called.
I think I was literally watching it on the plane.
It's like
yesterday.
2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's,
Loved every second
it's
of it.
gold.
I was like, I recorded this on a Zoom and now it's
Wild.
the congas and shit. I'm like, yeah.
It's so good.
Wow.
Like I just like that shit for like, oh, you man think differently.
Yeah.
What I don't get watching these is like the idea to like final product is like so good. It's like that's the
crazy.
skill. because like when they say it seems so simple, and it's like, well, yeah, like that works, but like thinking about that and making that happen is so hard.
Yeah. It's like, have you seen that video? It's Benny Blanco, because he's written every pop song ever. And he says that so there's a video breakdown of him and Ed Sheeran writing "Love Yourself" for Ed Sheeran, or "Love Yourself" for Justin Bieber. And he says he watches that video back and goes like, just get to the melody. He's like shouting at himself in the computer. Like, you're 2 notes off it, just get to the melody. And I guess that's the hardest part, is actually knowing what the right answer is. That's the skill.
If there is a right answer.
Yeah, that's the only skill. That's the only skill you can't like learn from a YouTube video. You've got to just learn that from experience, isn't it?
You got to feel that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got to be in a studio and be like, cool, I trust myself. So I'm going to say this out loud.
That's the thing,
Yeah. And I think that's what me and Graft have together. Like, he'll look at me across the room and I'll know exactly what he's thinking.
Yeah. That's great.
I mean?
Having that sort of back and forth is like
locked in.
Essential.
Yeah.
You know how he sits. You worked with him.
Yeah.
He sits like this. He's like locked in with you.
Yeah, literally.
Like, so.
But like sometimes you're like, is he like, is this good?
Max, you're like, what's he
thinking?
I'm doing something alright.
Do you want to record 30 more? Or like, is he like
Facts.
So in terms of like when you're making a song with Graft, or when you're just producing by yourself, do you have a go-to process that you start with? Do you have a template? Do you start with drums? Do you start with a sample that you flip? What is Danny West's process?
Yeah. I don't know, yo, because people that have a process scare me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, music's loving it, so you can't tell me you got a process for making love.
When you mean pause. No, when you say process, do you mean like, are you talking like a template, or are you talking like just starting with this, or like what's a process to you?
I guess for me, if I'm ever starting a beat, it's probably 90% of the time melody first.
Okay. Yeah.
Probably.
Wow.
Like, obviously I see them guys do drums first, but I'm like, how have you, what pocket are you in? Like, how do you know? How do you know where we're going?
So
like,
melody's a bit of a crazy one.
Start with melody.
Not even like chords.
Nah.
Just like literally like a hook.
I gotta hit a chorus or a hook first.
Wow.
And then what? Like either way.
Sometimes
like one track I made in like 2019. Never seen the light of day. Yeah. I started on the outro.
Oh, that's sick.
And worked backwards.
Like you knew it'd be the outro.
Yeah, like it just sounded mad, like James Bond, dramatic. And I was just like,
and you just like worked your way back.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And that was sick. That was cool. That was like one of the first time I was like, oh, there's a process to follow here. But more time I don't think about it, because I think as soon as you think about it, shit gets complicated.
Like no templates, nothing. You just open an empty door.
Yeah, I made a template because I saw a man doing the template thing. Yeah. And I was just like, oh, I'll give it a go. And I was like, I hate this.
Did you? I'm the exact same. So you were preaching templates to me.
I love a template. Like,
but what if I have 4 kick drums? That'll fuck up the template.
But this
you just like duplicate it. It's so easy.
I had a template that had like all my plugins loaded. I was like, yeah, it's gonna be sick, ready to go. But I was still dragging samples in to a new track.
Yeah.
So I had all this template taking up all the CPU, and then just making new tracks.
Surely it makes you rigid, no?
Yeah.
Like that would scare me if, like, I don't know, Pro Q3 was on every single one.
But just ready to click and edit.
I want to feel what's right.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
I hear that.
I might not want a Valhalla on that track. I might want to whatever.
Yeah,
come on.
I've got like buses set up with like 5 different reverbs that I can like pick from. I'm not like restricting myself.
Yeah,
that's
like loads of like different effects delays and like this and that, and I don't have to grab them. I can put another one on, but like nothing's printed on the track. It's just like, it's more of a mixing thing for like ease.
I think where I'm coming from is I've been in a lot of like high pressure situations in the studio.
Yeah.
And it's like you just need the fluidity of being able to fly around your door.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, I've never really seen a man with a template be able to adapt on the spot.
Yeah.
Like, cool, man, we're doing a violin in 3 minutes. Like, you ready? Do you know what I mean? Or whatever.
Yeah.
But like a very specific thing. Do you know what I mean?
Okay. But like, for me, empty template, you're creating a track, like audio track, MIDI track, whatever it is. Yeah. Like, surely that's just the same on the template. Like, I can create what I need to in that split second.
Ben's fighting it.
I'm fighting because I like it. Do you know what I mean? Though? I'll fight my corner.
You know where I think it works really well? Like electronic music.
Yeah.
Okay. So like, I used to work with a producer called Mikey B.
Oh yeah.
And like, he's got a template, and I'm like, sick, man. Of course you do, because your drums are there, your thing's gonna be there, and your thing's gonna be there.
Yeah.
Whereas like, I don't know. I might just want to shout into the mic and make it sound like a violin one time, and I don't want to be at the bottom of my template because that doesn't fit in.
Okay, you
my
just
thing.
like literally just how it looks. You don't even want that there.
Nah.
Okay.
Nah, just don't work for me.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I hear you.
No, but I like it. I like that. That's your way of doing it.
Yeah.
But then on the same note as that, so it's like you've kind of got a process, but not really. You just want to leave it open to creativity. But do you experiment much with plugins, or are you more? Do you have your favorites that you go like? What is your favorite go-to grab plugins?
Do you know what? Obviously, Pro Q3 has to be in it.
Best plugin of all time.
Well,
we've talked about this before.
Best plugin of all time.
I'm not sure.
Ever.
I'm not sold. Hey, if it can be yours, you're allowed to. You can have that.
It's so boring though.
That's what I was thinking. It's a bit.
But what?
It's a bit like blue collar.
It's the only EQ you'll ever need. That's got dynamic in it. It's got. That's fine.
Have you used I can never say it right. The Gullfoss.
Yeah, we've been hearing about it a lot.
I keep telling Dan about this plugin. Because I want Gullfoss.
You say that about Pro Q3, but sometimes I reach for that one. I'm like, oh, all right, okay. Or I even might super recently, I might reach for like a channel strip and be like, all right.
Yeah, like
channel strip.
SSL,
I'm scared to dive into those channel strips.
I don't like it's nasty interface. I don't like it.
I'm like,
get that off my screen.
But that being said,
where's the curve at? I want to see myself.
But that's what I'm enjoying a lot more. It's like
it's not super. You're not using your eyes, are you?
Music's not visual.
Yeah.
When we did the mastering course at uni, we did a whole outboard one, and like it was two. What were they? CL1Bs. Mid side, and like there's nothing on that, and we were just like sat there like.
Listening
like a little bit that way.
It was,
and it was
so
like,
good.
yeah, that's
but that's
and
the
it came
music.
out. It came out beautiful.
But this is the issue, though. I
too
don't
easy.
do that anymore.
Oh, really?
And it's like when you're in uni, you're in that. Well, this is what you're supposed to do. This is the process you do. You're forced to do it. Yeah. But when you're making beat by yourself, you're like, it's almost that you've got to make sure you're not being lazy because it's like
it's too easy.
Oh, I know this needs 800 depth. I know this.
That's boring.
So boring though, but it's so easy to get caught up in that.
But that's what I've been liking the channel strip recently because I'm doing stuff that I would not normally do.
I like that.
I'm boosting stuff where I'm going, this feels right,
and you get a different sound than if you were just using the
graphic.
100%.
Shout at him. He shouts at me every time I boost something on EQ. Shout at him.
I don't like boosting.
What do you mean don't like boosting?
Well, mixing boosting, but I like.
No. I'm with Dan. Yo, if something needs it's getting a.
I'll boost like only like saturation stuff, like.
What are you scared of?
I'm like boosting high end, I don't just want to like
shelf it.
With saturation. I
that.
It gives me more harmonics. I'm not just using what's already there. But nah,
this is what uni's done to you.
I like it.
I need more harmonics in my sound. Oh yeah, no man, just give
Put
it
a limiter on it. Make it smart.
Yeah, because you know what it is. I've mixed shit and gone to mix engineers. And they've been like, how do you get it like that? And then I'll show them my chin. And they'll be like, what's going on? None of this is linear. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, I hear you.
I like my fresh air.
Shout out Slate Digital.
Yeah. I'm still mad. So I had the Slate. We've talked about this 5 times in the pod now. Yeah. I had the Slate All Access Pass, my first plugin I ever got. Because it was like £8 a month and you get everything. And it's just sick. Because one of my lecturers told me to get it. I can't get Fresh Air, which is a free plugin, because my subscription's expired.
Rough.
Essential.
Fix it, please.
Shout out Fresh Air.
I need to go.
Fresh Air has like opened my brain to going back to the channel strip.
Yeah.
Because you can get that from the channel strip.
Really?
But Fresh Air, like for me, like I'm going like backwards because I don't want them one knob plugins. I wanna feel it.
Okay, but what? I hear you.
Because Fresh Air, you just click through the presets. You go, boom. All right, sounds cool. I want a channel strip, and I'm like, oh, we're here.
Yeah, but what's the difference in Fresh Air? Boost like till it's nice. You just think, like, what's the?
I think on a channel strip or even an EQ, you've just got way more manipulation than you do on
so you like having one knob more control.
Absolutely.
Okay, I hear that. Yeah,
without a doubt.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
That's why
I like that. To be fair, I like that.
Yeah.
But do you think it's important to have those one knob plugins to learn what you need to hear to then, like when you're starting out more in production, if someone's listening who's quite new to it, is it important for them to learn the channel strip straight away, or is it important to know what they're listening for and then translate it when you can have more control?
I think learn the easy plugins.
Yeah,
Always.
learn the easy plugins.
You have to know how it works before you get to the
100%.
crazy ones.
Big bit of advice we've given this in other podcasts is, because we've been guilty of it, it's so easy to see a plugin that people are preaching you and say, oh, this will make your mix knock. But if you don't know how a compressor works on Logic stock compressor,
Yeah.
you're not going to use an 1176 properly.
But this is one thing, because when I was watching your earlier episode about, like, you man were chatting about CLAs and whatever.
Yeah.
I was just like, yeah, man, sick. I'll just click whichever one I feel today.
Yeah.
I don't care what I'm using it on.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'll use a 76 on whatever.
Yeah,
Or
if
a
it
sounds good,
3A
it
or
sounds
whatever.
good.
Exactly.
And then,
yeah.
like I said, when I take it to a mixer, they're like, why have you done that? I'm like, I don't
Sounds
know.
good.
Yeah, I hear that.
I don't know. I turned
But
the knob, it went up. It sounds great.
It's
Yeah.
important for you to have that almost self-belief to not be like, oh, should I not have done that? Do you know what I mean? Like, because I've been caught in that when someone said, like, oh, why have you done that? And I'm like, oh, I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, to be fair, it's so easy to just get caught in this box of like, this is how it should be done. Do it like that.
Allow it. Because I was hearing you man chat about it, and I was like, oh my god, yeah, okay, this is for this, this is for this. But I was like, all right.
Yeah, I hate
Whatever
I
sounds
hate
good.
it.
Yeah, no, I like
Right.
that.
And
though.
like what I've been doing, like, as of recent, is obviously you just go through the presets and you see what it should be used on, quote unquote, and be like,
I'm
oh, okay,
so
cool.
bad for that.
This should be on a drum bus, or this should be on a this. And I'm
Yeah.
like, who cares?
I hate that. I hate that stuff. See, I like
Why
what, like using
the
the.
presets?
It depends.
You don't use the presets.
Ben's fuming. Why'd you hit the presets?
Why,
Ben?
why are you making
No,
it
no,
less
no.
difficult? Why do you hate yourself, Ben?
Like it
This is-
depends what I'm presetting on. Like I don't like EQs. I'm not using a preset
Why not?
because I like to
I don't.
hear
No,
that.
you don't need an
feel
EQ
it.
preset. I don't think.
Ooh,
You were
I
just
I'm with
disagree.
him on this one.
You were just saying you want to feel it and like scoop out where you need
Yeah,
to.
yeah. But okay, I'm going from the beginner level. Do you get me?
Yeah,
if I'm
yeah.
brand new, yeah,
Oh, okay.
and I click male vocal and we're cutting 200, I'll be like, oh, why are we cutting 200?
Okay. But
Yeah,
do you-
yeah. I
you know
hear,
what I'm
I hear
saying?
that. I hear
There's
that.
the
I hear that.
danger of like throwing that on
And not learning it.
and not being like, why does this sound good?
Yeah.
Oh, but I'm a visual learner, so that works
Yeah,
for me.
yeah.
I guess,
Do you
but
get
like,
me?
yeah, I hear you. But some people just throw the preset on vocal cool. They're not hearing if it sounds good. They just know
Yeah.
it's called vocal preset.
I hear that.
That's
But
my concern. But
there's got to be the least amount of like barrier of entry.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
And
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
presets are that way.
Yeah.
Like when I'm looking at it, it says drum bus. Like I'm really only learning what a drum bus is like 2-3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, we're doing it all in here and then missing the
It's
master
sick.
and
I've
da-da-da-da-da.
As of recent, I've been doing that as well.
But I'm still like, cool, I can still achieve the sound not doing it that way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, oh.
I
What?
love a drum.
But why? Because you've been taught it,
Nah,
or because it
Because
works for
I've
you?
never
It works.
had
A
like
drum bus. We're talking about just the drum bus.
Yeah.
You put a drum bus on, you get a compressor on, glue it together a bit. You have.
See, glue it together. The industry's got you. It's got you.
Well, we're blind in the industry.
Do you know what I mean? Though?
we are the industry now.
Like when someone says, like, "Oh, we're gonna glue it together," what are we talking about? I understand what you mean, but what are we on about?
But that's the thing. Sometimes, sometimes
it.
words don't have an answer. So you have to get something that's close.
Yeah.
Make that sound more purple. What the fuck does that mean? But you'll make it sound more
I
purple.
hear that. I hear that.
You know what? I think all I know is me putting like a load of like heavy, I don't know, plugins on all of my drums makes it sound way better than when it doesn't have them.
Yeah.
That's all I know.
Yeah. Do you want to hear what the processing was for the headliner?
Yeah.
Yeah, go on then. Nothing. Just live drums recorded.
No EQ.
Crazy.
Nothing.
Must have had a very good drummer.
Who mixed it?
Shout him out. Shout
Ed
the drummer
Allen.
out.
Oh, Ed. Yeah, he
Yeah,
makes
yeah.
fast to the art. Wow.
So do you get me?
Yeah.
And then I'm looking at a Sabrina Carpenter, 2 splice
Spice
samples.
lists, yeah.
I'm like, bro, why are we all so anal about this? Do you know what I
Well,
mean?
no, I was going to ask you about that later.
Oh,
What are your
yeah.
thoughts on sort of loops and splice lips? Because once upon a time you told us
Yeah.
you won't sign anything with a splice lip on it.
Yeah, that's publishing, to be fair though.
Yeah.
Because it's obviously everyone's got access to it. The original right holder will just come and take your rights essentially.
So, sorry, just how does that work? If like Drake uses a splice sample on one of his things, can no one else use that?
Nah, people
Because like
can-
it's royalty free. Can't everyone just use that?
yeah,
and release
everyone
it?
can use it, but you got to understand, like with Splice, the loop makers sign a contract with Splice.
Yeah.
and those expire.
It does.
Yeah, they expire with Splice essentially, and then sometimes you'll get stuff that gets taken down. So, for instance, if I sing La 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 and put it up on Splice for 2 years, and it was in your track, and on the 3rd year they'd be like, "Yo, what's going on? That's my La La La," and that happens essentially.
Wow, that's good to know though. No one knows that.
Is there anywhere you can check how long a license is for? No. Surely they should make that.
I think it's a weird thing within Splice where you can read like the terms and conditions, but they're like super vague. Like this is only my experience with it because like I've submitted tracks to production music houses essentially, and they've gone, can't use it, Splice sample.
Mad.
Okay. Yeah, I remember you being like, it's not even worth it.
Yeah. And now like when I'm doing briefs to people, like without even asking the client, I'll be like, if it has a Splice sample, I don't want it.
Wow.
Because the problem is, I'll sync that for 10 grand, you'll get your money, and then in a year's time, we'll get sued for 10 grand, and then we're all back to zero again. Do you know what I mean? Like, just make your music.
But one shot's undetectable.
One shot's fine, yeah.
Yeah,
that's
not undetectable, fine.
Yeah. Sorry.
Why is that fine?
I have no idea.
It's so weird.
Not complaining though.
So what you're saying is I can release the exact same song, call it, instead of espresso, call it like cup of tea.
Yeah.
Change the lyrics, same beat, same thing.
No.
But
Not
it's
the
a spice
same.
slip.
No, but if
like
it was exactly the same,
right?
yeah.
But if it's all loops that are royalty free on Splice,
that's fair.
Ooh,
that's what I'm saying.
If it's just built with a drum loop and
because it is.
I guess theoretically,
yeah.
Oh, crazy.
Theoretically, you could remake that beat. Could you put it out in the world? Probably not.
But then I'd probably get to meet Sabrina Carpenter in a law room.
Yeah, like Universal would dive down your throat and rip it off the internet.
Yeah, that's the thing. They hold the power.
Yeah, and I think at that stage it just becomes that. Like for instance, DNA Test with Graft.
Oh yeah.
A big Asian artist also used the same sample from Splice, and it's like nobody cares.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's like.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard songs where it's like, I know this sample, whether it's a Splice sample
or
like
a Drake
YouTube
one not that long ago. I can't remember.
You hear it all the time.
It's so wishy-washy, but I know just like as soon as you get into the syncing stuff to TV and film is where it gets super anal and you need to like have the right sign-offs essentially. So that's why it's like untouchable.
It's a grey area.
Yeah.
You tried to explain it to me and I was like, what?
Thing is, I tried to explain it. I don't understand it.
No one does, let's be honest.
But that's what I'm saying.
No one really understands it.
And I'll be honest, like no one in publishing knows what they're doing. Like respectfully, like there is people that know what they're doing, but we're still like, that time we did that and then that time we did that. So
it's not black and white though, is it? That's the issue. That's why you can't know. It's a bit of a grey
area. It's the
Wild
West.
Yeah.
It's the publishing is the Wild West.
To me, it seems like it's just whoever has the most money wins.
Yeah.
Which is
crazy.
Fuck.
Money and power.
Yeah.
Money and power. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. If you're 50 Cent and you want to use that sample, you'll use that sample.
Happen, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
So fair. I want to use that sample.
It's about who you know.
You can chat to 50 Cent.
Sweet. Yeah.
It's about who you know. Like,
yeah, for sure.
We have someone on our board at Complain With Me who is on the board of another company called DMG Clearances. And it's like, you know, if you want to clear a certain, I'm not going to say the artist's name, but if you want to clear a certain artist, she'll do that.
Wow.
Like that. And it's
but
just a message.
How much you paying and like
sometimes it'd be free, sometimes it's not free. But do you know what I mean?
Are they taking royalties for that?
Yeah, they'll take a cut. But like sometimes it's just about who you know.
Yeah, that's crazy though.
The thing is like tomorrow morning Graph gets big and you're like, oh, can I sample that? We'll probably just be like, yes, Ben, of course you can.
Yeah.
Sweet.
That's a good point.
Live
actually, yeah.
So
let's make it happen.
It's not always as like clean cut as you think it is.
Do
you know what I mean?
I didn't think it was clean cut.
No. Billie Eilish is a good one. There was a drill song not so long ago that sampled the Khalid song. I forgot what it's called. Gonna fly away. I'm not gonna
keep going.
But yeah, it sampled that, and then I seen like maybe 6 months ago they had to do like an interpolation of it.
Oh.
And I was like, oh. Like Universal came for you. Like,
yeah.
So interpolation's all right, like recreating the track.
Ish. Interpolations are not all right because basically you can still infringe on someone's copyright.
Okay.
Right.
And that's when it comes into what key is this in, how quick is it, and all that kind of stuff. Because people, like a lot of producers, think they can get around copyright by just playing it again.
Oh yeah.
That's not how it works.
Yeah.
They owned that sound recording.
Yeah.
You're just recreating the sound recording. You need to make a brand new sound recording.
Yeah.
The melody needs to be slightly different in some way.
But you can probably get away with it sometimes, and that's why some people do.
Yeah, and I think my honest answer is do it until you can't get away with it.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
You think it's worth doing?
There's tracks out in the world by certain artists we know that have samples in them, and I'm just like, all right, until someone knocks at the door.
To be fair, this is what we had an interesting convo where I was like, I'm using my samples.
We kind of
we really butted heads.
That was the first time we've properly butted heads.
Yeah,
as a company, and
I'll use my samples, whether it's YouTube, this, that, the other. I'm like, you
just got to be careful.
Yeah,
because the thing is, if I come knocking at your door, you don't want me at your door. Like, not even like a thug way, but it's like, I'm coming for everything.
Yeah.
If you use my sample and you haven't cleared it, I'm taking everything.
Because why wouldn't you? Really?
And you have the right to.
Yeah.
And the lawyer on our board makes that extremely clear. If you sample my track and you do not tell me or do not clear it with me, I'm taking the royalties.
Yeah, and that's
you
fair.
owe me money.
That's totally
it's
fair.
my song.
Yeah, for sure.
Obviously, it depends on about usage and how long it's been played and all that kind of stuff. Like the 9-second rule, that's a myth. It's not a thing.
I didn't even
like people think you can do 9 seconds of a song and you won't get
really?
copyrighted.
So like 1 second. That's
if
enough.
you use if any of my interpolation, if any of my sound recording is in your track and it's a key part of the melody, it is now our track.
Yeah,
right.
Crazy. So don't do it. But you say do it until you can't.
Yeah, do it
until Danny comes knocking on your door.
That is Danny West advice.
That's separate to come play with me.
But yeah, so we're gonna transition a bit to a bit of a quicker question section.
Sure.
So
he's gonna love this.
You're gonna hate this. No, but you had an integral part in a legendary home studio called The Pit.
Yeah.
So do you prefer working out of a home studio or a big studio?
Home, without a doubt.
Really?
Without a doubt.
Why?
Correct answer. Sorry, that's
Why?
my take.
I'll be so honest, it is the correct answer.
Why?
Because, like, I don't know, I'm in my socks, innit? I'm like, I'm comfy, I'm warm, I'm in a place I know the ins and outs. It's spiritually bound with me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like if I came in this room, for instance, and you was like, yo, make me a beat that's crying your heart, I'm just not doing that. I'm not at home, I got my shoes on, I feel uncomfortable, I'm wearing jeans, you get me? Like,
this is my thing, like feeling comfortable is so important for creating.
It's so important.
In my head, so we talked about this in different podcasts, in my head, creativity comes from no distractions. More than being comfortable. So that's why I like being in a studio, because I can't go make a cup of tea.
Yeah.
I can't play Xbox.
Crazy.
I can't lie down and scroll on my phone for 20 minutes. I always like a big studio because there's room to move. Everything's in its right place. The keyboard's there. There's a live room there. There's a desk there.
My thing with that is like, I hate the idea of forcing creativity.
Yeah, I hear that.
If I'm dedicated, like you've got this amount of time to create, and it's
You're
like,
not gonna create anything.
like that might not be the time to do it, and like at home, that can like you just it's just so much easier.
I hear what you're saying though, Dan.
Yeah,
but,
it's a good argument.
It's definitely a good argument, but I'm just like, I need those distractions.
Yeah.
I don't like. It's not a job, innit? And then the minute it becomes a job, I'll probably quit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
That's fair.
This is something I love to do. I love music and I love my friends and I love everything that I get to do in this life.
Yeah.
And the minute it becomes shit, man, I got to clock in and I got to pay for the studio and I got to do this.
Yeah.
I'll quit. I'll generally just call it a day.
I guess I'm coming from probably a privileged angle, because we've still been using the Leeds Beckett studio.
Using the studios,
so we're not paying, we're not clocking in.
Yeah.
We just message a few people.
But even that's sick. Like, I think there is a right time and a place for
100%.
like them studio ones. But like all my best beats have been made in my bed on my side.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know. Probably never gonna migrate me to a studio.
Nah.
If I'm honest.
You're making beats without making beats without like MIDI keyboard or anything.
Yeah.
Crazy.
To be fair, I only got a MIDI keyboard in like 20.
I thought
that was like the first thing I bought.
Man. Yeah, but I just don't force it really.
Yeah, fair.
That's what it is.
What's your home studio setup? Speakers,
pillow, duvet. No speakers in my house. My mum would murder me.
Really?
Yeah. Home studio setup. Yeah, it's pillow, duvet,
hard, soundproofing.
Come on, Razer laptop, FL Studio, Audio Technica. What are they called?
Mics or what?
No, headphones.
Oh yeah, the ATH.
ATH.
I know the ones. Nice.
Yeah. That's it.
No interface.
Nope.
How are you getting them sub frequencies in the headphones?
Just wait till I get into the car.
Just producing the car.
Yeah. But I think I use what's it called now? SoundSphere.
Soundsphere.
Is that what it's called? I
know.
always forget the name of it. But you can like emulate different places in your headphones.
Oh, what, like the studio emulation?
Yeah. So I can do studio, I can do a car.
Like Mike Dean's studio or something.
Yeah. So like I have it set to. Do you know the massive open back?
Audies. Audies?
I don't know what they're called, but yeah.
The ones that have like the grated.
Yeah. Those ones.
Audies.
I've got it set to that, so it kind of emulates that profile.
Okay, sick.
And I'm really comfortable in that profile to be like, cool.
Yeah.
If it sounds like this in here, it'll sound like this in my car.
That's really interesting because not that many people produce on beats.
I'm super intrigued. I've never used them, like the emulation stuff. It works? Like, it's good?
It works-ish.
Is it just like a curve? Like, it just boosts up your
it boosts and
lows?
dips certain frequencies. But my thing over the years, I've only recently, maybe in the last year and a half, used that. Like, my thing is just, I know my headphones and I know my car and I know the studio.
Yeah.
So if it sounds like this in my headphones, like for instance, a lot of like my kicks and basses and stuff sound like wild in my headphones.
Yeah.
Okay, but you know.
But when I get to the studio, I'm like, okay, cool.
I think that's the most important thing. Like, it doesn't really matter what you're producing on. If you know,
100%.
Hits and like songs you like sound like
100%.
that. If yours are sounding the same, you're good.
You know what's crazy, right? So when Graf did the opening ceremony for Leeds 2023, he did headliner, and this was before it even got to the mixing stage. So I had to mix that for the stadium.
Sick.
Never done that in my life.
Wow, that's
cool.
cool.
I think that was around the time I got the SoundSphere. Is that the right name for it?
Honestly, I have no idea.
Me neither, but the emulation plugin.
Is it a Slate thing?
No. Sound company.
Mix, yeah.
So I mixed for an arena on there in my headphones.
That's crazy.
Crazy.
Oh, so
different.
You had like an arena emulation?
Yeah.
Is it really that different?
Bro,
like, obviously it's different. Yeah,
it's different.
Really,
it's different, and nothing matters. That's what I learned.
Wow.
Like,
because it gets lost, doesn't it?
It just gets amplified. And it sounds how it sounds.
Yeah.
Literally. So, but I tried my best, and it happened, and
sick.
What?
That's cool.
Sick.
That's cool to
and
say.
I was stood up front like, I did that.
Yeah.
Those hi-hats are loud.
I should have turned them down.
Do you think that's something that's really like pushed you on to continue this career? Is those moments like, oh, I did that. Or what do you think? What do you think drives you to push to the next level?
I just want to see the people around me achieve their true potential.
Love that.
Like, I think my purpose
100%.
on this earth is to give back.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not really in this for me. Do you know what I mean? It's been a very long time since I've done something for myself.
Wow.
Like the news I told you outside, that's the first time I've done something for myself.
Yeah.
So the thing that keeps me going is knowing that my friends are doing what they want to do, knowing that Graf's achieving his full potential, knowing that you're doing what you can do, and I can provide you opportunities at any point. Same with you, Dan. Do you know what I mean? That's what keeps me going. And I think I'm one of the few to blow my own trumpet that is like selfless in this industry.
Yeah.
Like I don't care about it's the Danny West this or it's the Danny West that. I've done cool things. I acknowledge that only now. Do you know what I mean?
That's amazing. That's hard to do. Like,
it's about the people around me that want to be on Glastonbury or want to do that sync deal or do that or da.
Yeah.
It's not about me.
That's, I mean, I can only respect that because I don't know how you do that, but we need people like you.
That's
and we
probably why
appreciate
you've done
you.
so well, is because people gravitate towards that.
Yeah. Well, I hope so. Because I think a lot of this industry is, I can't even say the names, but it's X and X have done this, or X and X is the A&R of this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, in my brain, I'm like, why does that matter?
Yeah.
This industry is about music and about good music.
Wow.
That's all I care about.
That's such an amazing way of thinking and navigating and looking through it. Because I'll be honest, I don't look at it that way, but like hearing you say that, it's like, wow. It's like, wow.
Yeah. But that's why I was honest with you from the get-go with like, you know, do you charge for studio time? Do you do this? Do you do this? I was like, look, Ben, like, I've done all of this out of the kindness of my heart for everybody.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
What I mean? But there's certain times that you got to think about yourself.
Yeah.
That's what I'm learning.
And speaking of, is there anything you've got going on that you want to push or like tell the people about? Now's your opportunity.
I want to push.
Yeah. Anything you got going on?
Nah, you know.
No.
Let me think though.
Yeah, have a think.
I actually don't. Everything's
Well,
come to an end.
Or
Yeah.
anyone else that you know, like your friends have got stuff that you want to push for them.
Yeah.
Go on
Thanks
then.
for that.
There
Thanks
you
for
go.
that. Yeah, come
That's
on.
more your lane.
Yeah. See, not me. That's what I'm saying. Nah, I got to shout out all the artists I currently manage. Lois, she's working on an EP that's coming out next May.
She's sick. I'm checking her out recently. She makes some really cool stuff.
Bro, threw me off. It was one of those conversations that she was like, do you want to be a part of this journey? And I was like, yeah, sounds sick. Like, never worked in like the pop alternative side of stuff before. So that was an eye-opening experience. Obviously, Graf's just dropped his project. Been working on that for a very long time.
Glad to see it
Congrats.
over.
It's amazing. Check it out, honestly.
Yeah. Golden Child.
Amazing project.
Like, take it in. Like,
Yeah,
definitely
really.
the second half. The first half's very commercial. The second half is about, after the rap game and like what mental health.
Yeah. I'm huge fan.
Actual relatable sort of struggles.
Yeah.
It's great, yeah.
And I think the thing that people will never see is him going through that.
Yeah.
And I was there every step.
Yeah.
So this project isn't a project to me. It's like a biography.
Yeah.
I'm like, boy, my man's documented every bit of it, and I'm like,
super special.
the world get to listen to it for free.
Really special.
Crazy.
Should be paying £100, but shout out D5. He's working on like the next like 6 releases.
Wow.
It's kind of stressful, but we move. And then Bethany, artist in Liverpool, she's about to release her debut single maybe in January, so that's gonna be lit.
Sweet.
Yeah,
But yeah,
amazing.
that's me.
Great
Shout out,
stuff,
come play
bro.
with me, obviously.
Yeah.
For giving me a job
Big
and
up, big
stuff.
up.
Shout out Tony.
And shout out yourself for coming on the pod, bro.
Yeah.
Really, really appreciate it. It's been a pleasure having you on.
Absolute pleasure, mate. Thanks to everyone for tuning in. Some gold in this episode.
Yeah.
Follow us on Instagram and TikTok, blind.audio. All the podcasts are live on all streaming platforms. If you're on Spotify, go YouTube. If you're on YouTube, go Spotify.
Beat videos.
Beat videos come
Beat
out every
packs.
week. Beat packs coming out
Projects
very
on the
soon.
way.
Projects coming out soon. Too
Everything.
much stuff,
We got everything. We got everything.
We'll do your taxes for you too.
But thank you for tuning in, guys. We'll catch you in the next one. Sweet.